What's going on, everybody? Devore G Money and Havoc. This is the Not for Debate podcast. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Also, be sure to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. Big show today, as always, bangers all the way around. Going to be talking about Ben Simmons threatening to not report to 76ers camp. The Alabama versus Miami recap, obviously. Dak Prescott expectations versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Thursday, and the possibility of the Los Angeles Lakers adding DeAndre Jordan to their already stacked roster. Havoc and G Money, what is going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
What's happening, man? The Lakers sounding like the 2010 All-Star team.
I can't wait till we get to this particular topic because I do want to hear what G Buddy has to say about that. But yeah, go ahead and tell us about what's going on with those.
So there was a high school football game on ESPN. It was IMG Academy, which people know is basically just 5-star academy. It was just mad people from all over the country come to go to that particular academy. Half their team goes to Alabama every year. That's the type of time they're on. And they faced off against a school called Bishop Sycamore, which is an Ohio-based distance learning school that's supposed to give dudes who, for whatever reason, got kicked out of college, had to leave college, never went to college, give an opportunity to play football. So they played this game. First sign that things are a little bit off. The roster that Bishop Sycamore gave, this is a broadcast on ESPN nationally now. The roster that they gave ESPN was not the players that were on the field. They were dudes were playing with numbers that were not assigned to them by name. Guys didn't really have personal histories. No one was really on any of the recruiting websites for high school football players. So they play the game, they get smacked, right? Like it was like at one point I think it was like 50-3. Like it was a runaway. It was a joke. And after the game, people started making some observations like, man, these dudes look kind of old. Man, these guys didn't seem really too organized. Man, what's going on? No one's ever heard of this team. No one's ever really heard of this school. What's happening? And then they figured out that after doing a little bit of investigating that they basically got, it's kind of like, y'all know the show Last Chance U?
Yeah.
Well, literally, they was basically running Last Chance High School. And they were getting dudes from all over the place. Guys, but the problem is a number of the people on their teams actually graduated high school. A number of the people on the team are in their 20s. Like these dudes out here looking like they work for sanitation services or something. You know what I mean? Like they got full beers talking about they in high school, and then they figuring out they'll do some more reporting that these dudes, man, they was living real tough, man. They just it was kind of like a dorm style situation, except it was just like 20 people in a room. Ain't nobody have any money. Didn't really have uniforms. Everyone's playing both sides of the ball. To get around the rules, like a dude would wear somebody else's jersey. Like they was out here robbing Kroger's to like eat, because it was just like it was nuts, man. So they're trying to figure out what's going on with Bishop Sycamore, but they really should have looked into the fact that there actually is no Bishop Sycamore.
You know what's crazy? People used to do that in high school, but not to that level. Basically, you use somebody else's address to play for a certain team, but that's minor. We're still all the same age. These dudes were in their 20s playing against.
These dudes was in their 20s playing against high schoolers, and they got smacked on top of it. So, hey, man, I mean, good luck to y'all, but I don't know if this Bishop Sycamore thing is gonna work out.
You know, I'm thinking to myself right now. Back my senior year in high school, we played. Well, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Paint Branch, but that was the team. That was the school that Darnell Dockett, the ex Arizona Cardinals defensive tackle, used to play for.
Hmm.
We played against Paint Branch, and for some particular reason, those guys were extremely big, and I mean, like they didn't look like high school students; they looked like legitimate adults. So now you got me kind of thinking now, Havoc, for real. Maybe those were actually high school graduates that Paint Branch actually got that year.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, imagine
Wait,
just
did
a
you guys
whole.
lose? Sorry, Heaven.
Yeah, we got our ass beat. What are you talking about?
Yeah, just imagine a whole team full of dudes that you know what I'm saying. They out here shaving. They got 401k. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like that. So if
Wait, you guys didn't have beards and facial hair in high school? I just had the goatee. But these
yeah,
dudes have
no,
full beards, huh?
nah, man, my stuff didn't grow in high school
Mhm.
like that.
I had a little something, something underneath my nose. I mean, on my upper lip, a little something, something, but ain't nothing to go in the bathroom and work on before I go into school.
Yeah, I wasn't on that level. I didn't start
Yeah,
shaving until I was in
yeah.
college.
There were some dudes. There was shoot. I still don't even shave, to be honest. This right here, this takes about a couple of months to grow. If I cut,
Okay.
yeah, it takes a while for it to grow. Definitely.
I mean, look, man, anyone out there that has to shave every 2 days, it's tough out here, man. Them these razor products, man, they ain't cheap.
But the fact that you guys or those guys were in their 20s and you lost against kids is even
Mhm.
more embarrassing.
Yeah, man, it was real rough, man. They was living rough. The transportation situation was real rough.
Mm.
Wasn't no names in the back of the jerseys because dudes was wearing different jerseys. The quarterback was the punter.
Wait a
Uh,
minute. But Havoc, real quick. You
yeah,
said there were no names on the back of the jerseys. Like, how
right.
rich is this school? Because I didn't even have my name on the back of my
I
jersey.
don't know. Well, when I went to high school, there were names on the back of the jersey. The high school I
Yeah, it
went
was.
to,
Yeah,
Y'all had
but
names on the back of your
yeah,
jerseys.
man.
sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, look, when the high school team brings in a significant amount of funds to the school, you might get your names on the back of the jersey.
I had to give my jersey back.
Really?
Yeah, to get my jersey back.
You gonna need this one
Did,
for next season. We gonna need this for next season.
did you get the Letterman jacket or no?
I quit.
You quit? Oh, okay.
I quit. I think it was.
Hmm.
I want to probably say the
Wouldn't
second
that
to
be
last game.
wouldn't that be crazy if you quit the football team, they make you get the Letterman jacket back?
I didn't show up. I didn't show up to the end of the season party. I just said fuck it. I got into it with the coach. I ain't even gonna say what it was about either.
Mhm.
And I just stopped showing up.
That's a good thing about high school, man. You can just walk away from teams like that. You just stop showing up for practice and that's it.
Yeah. I left them pads sitting right on top of that daggone locker on top of the locker. And I said, F this, I'm gonna go do something else. And sure enough,
Yeah, no.
it was just in time for the track team.
Yeah, man. So I highly suggest you go on Twitter and or YouTube and look up the Bishop Sycamore IMG Academy highlights or lowlights, whatever you want to call them. But I think when I think at one point
Where
one of
was the
their
other team
players,
from? What
the IMG Academy is from Florida, I believe. Bishop Sycamore is from
okay.
Ohio. It's from Ohio. Uh, and I think at one point, like one of the Bishop Sycamore players got hurt, but Bishop Sycamore doesn't have any trainers on their team. So the trainer from the other team, the trainer from the other team had to attend to the injured player. Like it was comedy, man. It was comedy.
I gotta see this.
It
Yeah,
was
But this was
comedy,
on
man.
ESPN.
This is on ESPN.
I gotta check this out right after we end up finishing this pod. But first things first, let's go ahead and get into the Miami Alabama game. Uh, Obviously wasn't but it was expected to be.
Wait. What do you mean it wasn't as expected?
It wasn't
No,
expected.
it
What do you
wasn't
mean
as
it wasn't
expected.
as expected?
No, it wasn't. Listen, okay, can I start off? What that means is you expected the Hurricanes to lose, yes, but not like that. They didn't play with heart. They didn't play with passion. If you're going to lose, at least go out fighting. They didn't go out fighting. They just and the quarterback was not like, I don't like the coach, his game plan. They just played with no intensity at all. So that is what, I don't know if that's what VOR means, but that is what I mean when you say it wasn't as expected, because you would think that the way Miami's Hurricanes culture, if you're going to lose anyway, at least play with heart. They didn't play with any heart, so it was terrible. It was awful to watch.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but also hear what I'm saying. Alabama is basically an NFL team playing in college.
Pretty much.
Miami is basically what Miami's been the past 15-ish years or so. In the preseason, everyone gets amped up. They want to break out the turnover chain. Did you see today? They broke out the turnover chain. The guy got a fumble, and then the call got reversed, and they put the chain. They locked the chain back up. Come on, man. Come on, man. It was, and now to that point. I mean, in my opinion, unless you are a top 5 team, Alabama can blow you out no problem. Unless you're a top 5 team, and even if you may be a top 5 team, get blown out by Alabama. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's to me, it wasn't even really that much of a surprise. Everyone's surprised. I'm not that surprised by the results.
My question is, what makes Alabama so great for so long? I mean, they've been great. They're like the Patriots of college football. They've been great for so long. The recruiting, okay, it has nothing to do with coaching.
They have excellent recruiting, and yeah, coaching does play a big part. But
also they have more coaches on staff than any other team in the country. They got coaches who they sole job is recruiting. They don't do no on the field work. They just scour the country all year long. Like their process of recruiting. I mean, I'm talking about establishing contact when these guys are in JV. Sometimes they in middle school, and just keeping up that contact until they're ready to commit. Man, these guys got it down. So, I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I don't think anybody below a 4-star has attended Alabama in quite a while.
I did want to go ahead and highlight Bryce Young today, considering how he set a debut record. He was 27 for 38 for 344 yards for 4 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Yeah,
which was previously set by Joe Namath and Mac Jones for most touchdowns in a debut, which Bryce Young just broke. So my question is to you guys: do we possibly see another Alabama first-round pick in the next 2 years?
I mean,
probably.
Yeah. I mean, look, they've had first-round picks the past 2 years, and a second-round pick as well, in Jalen Hurts. So, I mean, look, man, if you're looking for NFL players, man, you ain't gotta look much farther than Alabama.
We'll see, because the track record for quarterbacks isn't that great as of late.
What do you mean as of late?
I mean,
the NFL haven't been that good.
Are you talking about?
Yeah, are you talking about Jalen Hurts and Tua? Like, bro, it's not.
Yeah, you talking about them too?
Yeah.
It's yet to be determined.
And Mac Jones ain't even played a regular season game yet.
It's yet to be determined. But before them, there really hasn't been a quarterback outside of Joe Namath.
I mean, let's just be real. I mean, back in the day, Alabama wasn't trying to throw the ball.
Yeah, they were running.
Right? They was just running the ball all the time and just getting the biggest offensive lineman possible, them in Oklahoma, and just running the ball down your throat. Now, once Nick Saban came in, when Nick Saban came in and brought Lane Kiffin with him, that's when they opened things up. And then every other coordinator since has built on top of that. Sarkisian, I believe, what's his name? Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator. I mean, look, Bill O'Brien was just the head coach of an NFL team, and he's the offensive coordinator of Alabama, and that's a lateral move. Probably getting paid the same too.
I'm just saying, AJ McCarron He's not a starter in the league.
No, he's a veteran, but he ain't a starter.
He ain't a veteran.
AJ McCarron's
He's a veteran. He's a veteran. What are we talking about?
I can't call him a veteran. I feel like a veteran is a player that actually started for a team.
AJ
Bro,
McCarron
you don't have to
started.
start.
Yes, you do.
AJ McCarron started.
He started. He started for Buffalo or something, I think.
AJ McCarron started for Buffalo. I know he had a couple of starts with the Cincinnati Bengals, but really, you got to get some starts under your belt before I actually consider you actual veteran.
Well, Quinte, he said that the past couple of years, the Alabama hasn't had any great quarterbacks.
I'll give you 10 years.
10 years?
The past couple of years they have. I'm not going to front like they have it. They have.
The last three picks.
They had three great college quarterbacks. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they are right now. We don't know.
Yeah.
If we're just going to sit here and just exclude Tua, Mac Jones, and Jalen Hurts.
But there were a couple of guys we knew were college guys. Like, we knew AJ McCarron would go to the league, but we didn't think AJ McCarron was going to do anything in the league. You know what I mean? It's like, what's his name? Greg McElroy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like
those two guys are the carbon copy of Tua, but Tua's better. They're accurate. They don't have the strongest arm. They have good command of the offense. They're good at those things. They're not going to turn the ball over. That's what Tua is. But he's
okay. So I got
better.
a question. Out of those three specifically, Tua,
McCarron.
out of those, Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones. Who has the most potential?
Mac.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people might not like what I'm about to say. I feel as though Jalen Hurts might have the most potential. If they have the right offensive coordinator to help him develop, he can be better because he has the leadership qualities, and he's a leader. People gonna get behind him, and to me, Tua is good, but he hasn't showed me that part of his game because think about this. Jalen Hurts went to a whole nother school, and they followed him, and I don't know if Tua can do that. I don't know, so I gotta see that.
We'll see.
So you rolling with Jalen Hurts, Quinte?
I'm not going front. I like Jalen Hurts. I can't say I don't like him. I like him because he's a leader. That's what I noticed about him.
Okay,
he is a leader.
So
might be the better pass from the ball.
I mean, it's interesting because if Jalen Hurts tops out his potential, his NFL equivalent is, I don't know, like Russell Wilson maybe. If he all the way maximizes. Now the thing with Jalen Hurts is the arm wise he ain't, he's not in the same category from a arm strength and accuracy standpoint. He's just not the can make all the throws guy, but he does have good leadership. He can get out the pocket. He's a tough runner. He seems like a smart dude. He seems like a leader. He seems like
he has control.
He seems like a guy that he looks the part, right? Like he looks the part. So if he can put it all together, I think his ability to run just gives him an extra dimension over Tua, I would say.
I gave.
You know what? Go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, a couple weeks ago, remember, we had this conversation. I gave the Philadelphia Eagles 5 wins when I said that I like Jalen Hurts' leadership going into this training camp. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick by that. But I'm definitely going to continue to stick with Mac Jones as far as being the most successful in the NFL.
I didn't give my pick yet.
Go ahead, do your thing, man. Go ahead, do your thing.
So the way how Quinte described Jalen Hurts, I agree 100%. But even though that's my team, I don't want to be always a homer. I'm gonna go with Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones with Belichick and the Patriots, I think he has more potential to be great, faster or a lot quicker than the other two. So I'm gonna go with Mac Jones.
I could have sworn there was definitely some Mac Jones haters in this pod.
Who?
That person ain't here.
I could have Havoc. Weren't you a hater too?
No, I think that was Banks.
Nah, it wasn't having. It wasn't having.
I
Okay.
don't look. Mac Jones is exactly who I think he is.
No, it wasn't Banks. I don't think it was Banks. I don't think it was nobody. I don't think anybody hated him.
Don't worry, I'll pull the tape.
Okay.
Yeah, but you talked about that you thrashing.
I mean,
oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
That's depressing, man. That's depressing.
mm.
It's like them boys do not play with no passion. I don't see
Exactly.
no passion, bro. It's like
they out there for the look.
Yeah, they out there just for the look. You might have 2 or 3 players that have it, but nobody else have it. And to me, they're wasting some players' talent on that team.
That's what the U has turned into, though. The U has turned into a look. It's turned into a look. It ain't it ain't about we about to come here. Like back in the day when I was growing up in South Florida, back in the day it was about you talking about the Miami Northwestern Highs and schools like that. They'd all come to at one point most of these dudes came together and went to the U. and then they formed basically the greatest college football team ever. But nowadays, man, they plucking all these Miami dudes. Every school plucking these Miami dudes up. So
that's why I don't like. It's blowing me with that. Like I can't stand to see Alabama, Clemson come down here and get our best players.
Let me make a point. Let me try to make a question here. What if it's just too much Alabama? What if Alabama is just that better? And you went. I'm
gonna be honest. From me looking at the game, Alabama didn't do nothing they couldn't stop. They just didn't have it. They don't have what it takes, bro. Alabama has a good pass rush. The secondary is trash. You understand what I'm saying?
So it was more UM being sorry than more Alabama being better. That's what you're saying?
It's to me. I'm gonna say this to you, bro. If you switch out the coaching, it'd be if you put Manny Diaz just to be the defensive coordinator, he'll be a better defensive coordinator as a head coach. Because what I see, every time they blitz, they're throwing the ball where the blitzer is not going at. That's all Bryce Hall did the whole game. He threw a deep pass because the man was wide open. Mm-hmm. Other than that, every time they blitz on that side, right or left, that's where he's throwing the ball. And then I got tired of seeing they stack the box and we throwing screen passes. Come on now, bro. You are tripping. You are tripping. You have receivers that run 4-3, and the one time you throw it down the field, you threw a touchdown. Come on now, man.
I think
it's tripping, man. It's not there, bro. It's just something is missing. It's just some piece of the puzzle is missing.
I just think also fundamentally, when you losing by over 30 points, you need to keep the turnover chain locked up.
Yes, yeah, and plus they couldn't tackle, and that's one thing. Another thing, they kept hitting him in the backfield, hit the running back in the backfield, were not getting him down. Had a sack 3 or 4 times, couldn't wrap up. It's like everybody wanted to make the layout hit. No, Pimpin, you're not that strong. It's not how it was back in the day, bro.
It's starting to look a little bit. It's starting to look a little bit like the UM team after, the glory years. It's starting to look a little bit like the UM teams after the glory years, which was some really, really fast guys, like really athletic guys, but with like not enough fundamentals, basically.
Yes, that's all it is.
It's just like, are you just doing the basics right? Because you got UM's always had the speed. They've always had a level of talent, but like I said, a lot of guys, man, they go there for the look, and it's a good look. I mean, look, when you got all these former UM guys, you know what I'm saying? They hooking your mama up with a condo. They're hooking you up with some wheels. You know what I'm saying? You going out, you ain't paying for meals. You know what I'm saying? Because Uncle Luke got the foundation set up, so you ain't got to pay for anything. You play for the U. Man, it's a vibe. You know what I mean? Like playing for the U is a vibe. It's not even really about we out here trying to win the Natty. It's like, man, we out here trying to go to the beach with our jerseys so everyone knows we play for the U.
Yep.
He said it's not like we trying to win what do you say, a Natty?
Yeah,
the national title. Yeah,
we ain't trying to win a Natty. We out here trying to catch a vibe.
Hey, but but let me just say this. I hear what you guys saying, but I think they can bounce back. I think maybe they just like this. This is recoverable. Like they can recover from this. I think they'll be all right for the rest of the season. We'll see.
I mean, Bama's gonna keep smacking people.
But my thing is another thing too. They need to do what they used to do back in the day. Play a cupcake first. Play you a cupcake first.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not who makes the schedule.
But the cupcake used to be FIU though, or FAU. FAU ain't a cupcake anymore.
It'd be FAMU. It used to be FAMU.
Yeah, FAMU.
FAMU Bethune-Cookman. Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Smack up, they score 75 points.
Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman. Yeah, they play them.
I'm trying to look up who they have next. They have
Old Dominion. They play Old Dominion, I think, man.
Duke. They play Duke all the time.
State. Appalachian State. I think that's what that is. Yeah. Okay.
Appalachian State. They live to get smashed by top level schools, man.
So just
all the wrong players are going, man.
Just to bring out their schedule. So after that, they have Michigan State, then Central Connecticut, Virginia, UNC, North Carolina State, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, Florida State, November 13th, which is got to put that on the calendar, and then Virginia Tech again, and then Duke, November 27th. That sounds like an easy schedule.
That's, in my opinion, that's at least 4 L's for Miami, at least.
Yeah. You think so?
I ain't gonna. Yeah, Virginia Tech, North Carolina.
They got Virginia Tech twice.
No, they got Virginia and Virginia Tech.
Oh, my bad. You're right, Virginia. Sorry, my bad. You're right.
Yeah, but man, they just need to get. They don't have no swagger, bro.
It's fake swag.
They don't have. It's no swag, bro. It's none.
You know what? It's leftover swag. That's what it is.
It's leftover swag. It's like this. Your older brother had all the cool clothes in high school.
Yeah.
And you put them on, you think
it's not the same vibe.
It's not the same.
Let me pose a question before we end up moving on to the next topic. Actually, do you think that the fact that you can make money now in college could possibly affect a college football player's performance?
I don't think so. I mean, first of all, how are they making money? Can someone explain that?
Because they're not getting performance bonuses.
I'm gonna say yes, he can.
Okay.
So I can say, I'm gonna say this: dude. Havoc can speak from all of us. Well, 3 of us. We're from Florida, from South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you get some dude,
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Man. They're not gonna go to class. They're gonna get a check off rip. They're gonna get the big head. They're not gonna perform. I'm being honest.
I got a question though. Don't mean to interrupt, Quincy. Just a question. So are they getting game checks like the NFL, or how are they getting paid?
You getting
it's a sponsorship.
You get sponsorship.
Okay.
So you get a check up front. You get a check up front.
I mean, I think to a certain extent, I mean, college athletes, particularly if you're with, a top level program, your head's already getting blown up to start with, right? Like you got the mentors on deck. You ain't even got to ask for them. They knocking on your door and talking about you going to class. You know what I mean? Like they got people hounding you to do everything. So it can only it can only lend to it becoming even more of an issue. But if you already got that big head syndrome, the money in general, money just reveals more. So if you're already that type of person, you're just gonna go farther off in that direction.
So I got another question before we move on, Bor. Let's say this experience, college players getting paid, turns out to be horrible. You think the NCAA will
can't do
that, or
nope.
They can't do it?
Back.
The college making more money than they getting paid anyway.
Can't go back now. You already opened it up.
Think about it. The Alabama game got probably like $50 million. But Bryce Hall got an $800,000 contract with somebody, sponsorship. But that's nothing. That's the pennies in the bucket. Of $50 million. That ain't nothing. That's two Bentleys.
Yeah, man. It's. I mean, I think it's like one of those things. Look at Prohibition, for example. Mm-hmm. There was a time where alcohol had been legal the entire time this country had been around. And then they messed around and they tried to make it illegal. And then people decided to make their own alcohol and open up speakeasies and whatnot.
Mhm.
It's why it turned out to be a situation where whether you choose to make this illegal or not, you've already opened up the door. There's no going back. So
Same
they
thing with
have to make
marijuana
it
now.
work. They have to make it work. And
Mhm.
to be honest, this should have been done a long time ago, man. You got dudes that have been on TV, dudes had their jerseys sold in stores, and they at home eating ramen noodles. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any
Mhm.
sense. So this should have happened a long time ago.
I was gonna say, like, if they're being on nationally televised games and doing press conference interviews, I strongly believe they should have got paid a long time ago too.
I agree.
Yeah. They go home eating peanut butter sandwiches, like talking about, and then it's like, think about what happened to like Chris Webber and Jalen Rose and them at Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They all came from the hood in Detroit. They all, you know what I'm saying? They all, a booster.
Besides Chris Webber. Not
Yeah,
Chris Webber.
well,
The
yeah,
other ones did. Chris Webber was privileged compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, that is true. But he was
That's
still
true,
from
yeah.
Detroit. He was still from Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
the rest of them, okay, the rest of them were like basically straight broke. Chris
Yeah.
Webber, you know what I mean? He had like 2-parent home, that type of dynamic.
Right.
But they all linked up with the booster, and actually it was funny because the dude who didn't really need the money took the money, and that was Chris Webber. But the main problem is Chris Webber. Okay, so from what I understand, Chris Webber told the truth, and then he decided he didn't want to snitch. But by that time, it was he already said too much. But he was young and he got manipulated a little bit, and now their jersey should be hanging, wherever Michigan plays, right? Like they're all that stuff that they lost, like Reggie Bush losing the Heisman Trophy, them losing what they lost. They need to make all that right.
Yeah, they do. They should have been gave Reggie Bush's Heisman back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best player that year. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He
there's
was
no
the
doubt
best player
about
for 2 years. 2 years in a row, he should have won Heisman. I'm just being honest.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was better than Vince Young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Vince Young had that. I don't know.
Vince Young had the most amazing game I've ever seen, though.
Yes.
Can't argue with that.
At all.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. But let's go ahead and jump on to DeAndre Jordan, right? So the Nets and the Pistons, they made a trade with the Nets end up sending DeAndre Jordan to the Detroit Pistons for Jahlil Okafor and Saku Dambuya. I hope I said
Don't try,
that.
man. Don't try.
I tried.
I think you got it right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, in return, the Detroit Pistons ended up getting four second-round picks along with DeAndre Jordan. So
4 second-round picks. Damn, that's a lot.
4 second-round picks.
That's a lot.
So the Detroit Pistons are going to buy out DeAndre Jordan's contract for him to be a free agent. And it is rumored that DeAndre Jordan is rumored to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers next.
Well, you know what? Just to start it off, that means they have 3 centers, right? We don't know what Marc Gasol is going to do. We don't know if he's going to retire, if he's going to come back. They got back Dwight, which in their 2020 run, I think Dwight was huge for them, Dwight and Rondo. And now they have DJ. If you watch DJ play the last couple of years, his game is not what it used to be with the Clippers. Like, he doesn't have the bounce, the jump, or the athleticism. I don't know if it was mindset or he's just getting old or maybe it's injury.
That was his whole game, though.
That was his whole game. But when you play with LeBron,
he was DeAndre Ayton before DeAndre Ayton.
He was Amare DeAndre Jordan Sotomayor.
But I hear you. But when you play with LeBron and Westbrook, that energy, they're gonna bring that energy out of you. So it's good for the Lakers. It doesn't make them over the top, but it's good for the Lakers. We'll see. It's not a oh my god, a huge big destination, but it's just another player to plug up the lane, play defense, get lobs. I really think that they need a big man shooter. That's what I believe. I mean, Marc Gasol can shoot, but he's not consistent enough. Plus, he's older. but we'll see.
Chris Bosh ain't coming out of retirement.
Kevin Love, do something.
Oh my God! How many washed up stars can you have on one team? Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Kevin Love is not washed. He's just upset playing.
Are we sure about that?
He's not washed. He's not washed.
Okay.
He's just playing for the Cavaliers, man. He's just playing for the Cavaliers. That's all. He's not washed.
I'm gonna say this. Cause I remember everybody at my job and other people. I hear people talk about this.
I remember seeing Kevin Love the first half of the Olympics, and then I didn't see him anymore. He caught a flight back home. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's just my thing with the whole Kevin Love. He got those stats when he was on the team with nobody on the team. And he got to a team with players on the team, he couldn't perform.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to do much. All he needs to do is shoot. Just shoot. But LeBron Westbrook drive down the lane, wide open for a three.
He barely can play defense.
Yes.
Yeah, he can shoot. He's
Nobody
a
plays
liability on
anymore.
defense. Yeah, but you still need to make stops when you need stops, and he couldn't do it.
Okay,
and
other than
go
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just like you like compare Chris Bosh, where Chris Bosh still had his game. You just had too many scorers on one team with Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh he shows up when he needed to show up.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is
Love didn't show up when he needed to show up.
Yeah, that's not true. I don't think that's completely true. What I'm saying is the only big man.
It's true, man. It's true.
Listen. The only big man that you have to worry about is Jokic and Joel Embiid. Other than that, who else you got to worry about at the 4 and 5 position?
You got what?
Who else is there?
Joel Embiid ain't gonna.
That's two. That's it.
Games of the season, he gonna play 45 games, miss 50 games.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about him.
It's interesting. I think the Lakers they just got. This is what happens when instead of looking at what you really need and understanding team dynamics and understand that even understanding that you need certain roles filled on every team needs certain roles filled. And right now, the Lakers got too many former stars, but not enough guys that carry the lunch pail to work. Because if you're because at some point the coach has got to go to somebody and say, "I need you to do the dirty work," right? I need you to do the things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but are going to help us win. And when you got a team full of former stars, ain't nobody raising their hands for that job. So,
I think Dwight is that. That's Dwight. That was Dwight. At least in 2020, he was doing the dirty work. So we'll see this year.
I agree with that, but it just they need two players who do dirty work on that.
The problem is all they dirty work players are over 35 years old. You can't like I remember watching the Miami Heat during their championship run. Shane Battier was our dirty work player, right?
Him and
Mike Miller.
Yeah. And I don't know. And every time him and Mike Miller, that's absolutely right. Mike Miller was really supposed to be a shooter. He turned into a dirty work perimeter defender shooter type.
And he played power forward too.
Yeah. And every time you looked at the Miami Heat bench, you always see Mike Miller and Shane Battier laying down on the floor with an ice pack on their back.
Mm-hmm.
You can these when you get these guys that are 34, 35, 36, they can only do so much dirty work. Like after the San Antonio championship run, the last Heat championship run, Shane Battier's body gave up. He was out here banging with fours, and by the end of that run, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm done." So at a certain point, the Lakers need to get guys that have a specific role that needs to be filled instead of just relying on former stars and hoping that hopefully everything will add up in the end.
You know what they're doing? They're going to maximize their talent. They're going to go so far all out this year for 1 year just to get that championship. They're going to forget about their age. They're just going to go out there and just ball out for 1 year.
Forget about the age, man.
If they're able,
hypothetical, man. That's a pretty good
I get you. If they're able to win,
I'm gonna just forget I'm 37. Up. I don't think it works that way, man.
That's what they're doing. They should
I have a question too, because by you adding DeAndre Jordan, where's the floor space in that?
Exactly, I don't understand that.
That's all, yeah, man. That's why I
unless you put DJ with because Anthony can shoot somewhat, DJ with Anthony, but that for that team to work, you have to put AD at the 5, LeBron at the 4, Melo at the 3, whoever the fuck at the 2, and then Westbrook or Rondo at the 1.
The formula for success for LeBron has been established. It's LeBron and shooters, particularly 3-point shooters. Put 3-point shooters around him, right? So they try. So in Oklahoma City, they tried to turn Carmelo into a corner 3 guy, and he didn't want to do it. Didn't work. You know why? Because I'm Carmelo Anthony. Because I'm Carmelo Anthony. No. Carmelo was a scorer. He was a straight scorer with Portland. He wasn't a corner 3 guy. He was a scorer with Portland. I'm still he can shoot the corner 3. But there's a difference between being a 3-and-D guy and a scorer that can shoot the corner 3. He was a scorer that can shoot the corner 3. He wasn't just a guy. He wasn't Kyle Korver just standing there all day. You know what I mean? And now you look at the Lakers. Who are the other shooters you're going to put around LeBron? Because when I look at the team and I look at the lineups they put out there, they ain't got enough role players. They got too many former stars, and you gotta negotiate with these guys to be role players. You gotta negotiate with Melo to be a role player.
But you guys are missing the point. You just said that LeBron plays well with a whole bunch of shooters. D Wade was not a shooter. Y'all forget about that. D Wade wasn't a shooter, and that worked perfectly.
Mike
Slash
Miller
and
was.
run. Slash
Chris
okay,
Bosh
but that's what I'm saying.
Mike
But
Miller
him and Westbrook
was.
can play the same way.
I'm gonna say this.
Westbrook can't shoot.
D Wade was a better defender.
Wade couldn't shoot.
But D Wade
Wade was a shot maker though. Wade was a shot maker.
When he needed to. He was a mid-range shot maker. Yes.
Yes,
I'd rather have D Wade over Westbrook any day.
Oh boy, yes.
Oh,
1,000%. 1,000%.
His basketball IQ was way better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's not trying to get no triple-double, thinking about how many points he have, how many rebounds he have. He's just playing the game. And Wade's going to get you 2 steals a game.
And he's going to get you 2 blocks.
Yeah.
At the shooting guard position.
I'm just saying.
From what I hear
with Melo, G buddy, are you serious? All you going to get is a jab step, pull.
That's what
hey, listen. He played well. Come on, man. He played well in Portland. Stop it.
Mid-range.
Damian Lillard said that was one of his best teammates.
Bro,
Melo played well in Portland.
There were no other scorers on Portland outside of CJ McCollum. They needed Melo to score. They needed Melo. Like with the Lakers, it's just too many. It's too many dudes that do the same thing. You gotta negotiate with them to be role players.
You know what?
I don't know, man. It looks dangerous.
Athleticism and size versus skill and shooting against the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets obviously are the favorite because they're a little younger and they can shoot better. But I think people put too much emphasis on shooting. Oh, he can't shoot, so he sucks. We just saw a guy who can't shoot for shit. Listen, we just saw a guy who can't shoot for shit score 50 points in the Game 6 closeout. So shooting is not that much important as everybody thinks. You just need to be. Yeah,
but the issue with that is he is the focal point of the Bucks offense, right? Now people like to say, "Oh, it's Chris Middleton's really." Chris Middleton ain't the star of that team. All right, Giannis is the star of that team. Chris Middleton is Robin, and everybody else is a role player. PJ Tucker, Brooke Lopez, Pat Connaughton, Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's not a role player.
He's not a role player,
but he played the role that he needed to play, which is basically be a lockdown defender. Right? Everybody fit into their role. When I'm looking at the Lakers, I'm saying, hey, yo, Melo, I don't need you to jab step, shake and bake in the mid range, dribble the air out the ball. I know that. Right? Like I don't need you to do that. I really just need you to kind of stand in this corner and do it and handle your business over there. Is he gonna do it?
Pick and rolls. I see a lot of pick and rolls between LeBron and Melo. I could see that coming.
Yeah, probably.
But he's not really a great finisher to the basket. I'd rather have a pick and roll with him and Westbrook. Westbrook going to the basket and has some athletic ability. More of a finisher.
No, what I'm saying is if you run a pick and roll with Melo, they're gonna double or converge on LeBron, and Melo will be open for a spot up jump shot or a 3. I can see that happening.
It depends because if the pick and roll is Carmelo fading, they're going to keep the double on LeBron, and then they're just gonna they're just gonna.
I think we just lost Havoc.
If Melo runs to the rim, then if they have a decent shot blocker, you can stop at year 18. You can stop Melo at the rim now, right?
All you have to do is step back. Just step back and take the jump shot.
Bro, that is not a way to win games. That is not a way to win games.
Towns can stop Melo at the rim, man. Karl Anthony Towns, the softest big man in the league, he can stop Melo.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, have to go to the rim.
I'll tell you, the day Chris Bosh retired is the day Karl Anthony Towns became the softest big in the league.
Oh wow! So much disrespect for Chris Bosh. Stop it!
I love Chris Bosh, but I mean,
he wasn't soft, man. He wasn't.
He had more heart. He has heart.
He had heart, but he wasn't.
He made a lot of big shots. A lot of big shots for the Heat.
Listen,
a lot of big shots.
He's an incredible. I mean, if we're just talking about skills wise, from the 4 position, he's basically the prototype for what they're looking for now. He's a prototype. He was a prototype before the prototype. But I mean, he's basically a 7-foot guard with a lot of post moves.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on, sorry about that, Havoc. Go ahead. I was going to say, would you think it would be better if we just put Melo at the 4 and put AD at the 5, and then we work out the 3, 1, 2, and 1?
But now you got to negotiate with Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis told you he does not want to play the 5.
But he did play the 5. He did.
But he don't want to play the 5.
It doesn't matter what you want to do. I don't want to. I know you don't want to go to work every day, but you have to.
You are absolutely wrong. When one guy makes $30 million per year and the coach makes $2 million per year, yes, it matters what the guy who makes $30 million a year thinks.
He played the 5.
That's what I'm trying to tell you about the Lakers. You have to negotiate with everybody.
Listen, I hear you, but he played the 5 when they won the championship. He was out there guarding Jokic. I know he didn't want to do it, but he did it. So if he wants to win, he's gonna have to get over that shit and play the 5. That's it.
Bro, he's in year 8. He ain't getting over it. He don't want to play the 5.
But what I'm saying, I hear you, but he did play the 5. He had to.
I understand.
They had LeBron at the 4 and him at the 5. They did.
I understand in the playoffs. Anybody does what they have to do in the playoffs, right?
That's when it matters. Who cares about the regular season?
But what I'm telling you is, the regular season is when you build the habits that lead you to championship play. So what I'm trying to tell you is the problem with the Lakers is they got too many guys you got to negotiate with. You got too many guys you got to negotiate with.
I don't think that's a factor because these guys want to win a championship. Melo wants to listen. These guys want to win a championship. That's the factor in year 5. When you're year 5 in the league. When you're 30, 35 plus, all you want to do is win a title. Westbrook wants to win the title. Okay. Melo wants to win the title. That's not a factor anymore. These guys will come off the bench, play less minutes to win a championship.
But they got tendencies, though. That's my thing. They got tendencies.
That's not a factor anymore. It's not a factor.
So let me ask you. So let me ask you this question: If what you're saying is true, how come Karl Malone and Mitch Richmond don't have championship rings?
Because they had a different mentality.
Because it was Shaq, it was Kobe, it was Karl Malone, it was Mitch Richmond, it was Gary Payton, and they didn't win anything. And you know why? Because all them older players, they all broke down at the end of the season because they were all in roles that they were not accustomed to. So this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. These guys.
I hear what you're saying. You're making a good point. I get that. What I'm saying to you is that these guys are desperate. After the embarrassing show that they lost against the Suns, AD was hurt. Melo wants a ring. I get your point. You're making a good point, but I don't think that will be a factor this season because these guys are motivated to win a championship. So if they have to come off the bench, if they have to play less minutes, if AD has to play the 5, they're just gonna fucking do it to win. I'm telling you, they're gonna go all out to win.
Let me tell you something, man.
It's not a factor anymore.
Let me tell you something, man. Most of these guys is full of shit. When they say that, when they say I will do anything to win, they are lying straight to your face. Because when I've seen countless athletes say I will do whatever it takes to win a championship, unless my minutes get cut, unless you want me to do something that I'm not accustomed to.
Yeah.
And you know what? The problem is not going to be with LeBron or AD. It's going to be all the other guys. They all going to have issues. At some point, they all gonna have issues with their role because, like in any season with every team struggles. But when you got 10 former All-Stars on your roster and you out here with a 5-game losing streak, that tension's a little bit different.
You guys didn't watch Melo on the Trailblazers last 2 years. I don't know why you guys think that. Melo played great and he played his role. There was never nothing coming out of Portland about Melo being upset about playing less minutes.
No,
that's not a factor.
And also to the point of guys being desperate to win. I have not caught a reek of desperation off of Russell Westbrook his entire career. That's
why I don't want to say anything, man.
I'm not saying that the Lakers are going to win. I'm just saying that these guys want. It seems like they want to win. That doesn't mean that they're going to win. I'm just saying they seem like they want to win. That's all I'm saying.
Man, they want to win. They want to win, but I think what you're going to find out is some guys want to win on their own terms a bit more than they want to win.
This ain't 2012 Melo, man. Melo's getting. I'm telling you, the last 2 years of Portland, there was no peep out of him at all. He complained nothing. You guys got to give more credit to Melo, man. Stop. Come on, man.
Well, I'm gonna say who's gonna be the defensive stopper? Who's gonna be the tough man on the team? You already know who's gonna be the scorer / facilitator. So it's like those roles are not filled. I don't see it.
Who's taking the charges?
Who's
the Marcus Smart guy? Who's just the crazy defensive guy?
I don't see none of that on the team.
I mean, they got Trevor Ariza. He could probably be.
Come on, man. He's washed up, bro. He's washed up. I don't see him play for Miami last season.
Yeah.
It ain't the same Trevor Ariza you thinking about.
Yeah. He still got some He can still play some defense, but everything else, I don't know. So.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Ben Simmons. The other day, your guy, Ben Simmons has notified the 76ers that he plans on sitting out the 76ers training camp.
Oh my gosh.
The lack of acknowledgement of his trade request to another team. So
nobody wants you, man.
Ben Simmons is very talented, but he has shown me just from a mentality standpoint, he can't be the best player on your team. He can't be. You can't have the other guys on the roster have to mentally acknowledge that this guy is the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land. You can't. It's it's very interesting because it's almost like the Deshaun Watson situation without all the sexual assault allegations. Right, you have a guy that has, if you look at just his resume, he should be worth X, right? He should be worth what an all-NBA type player should be worth, right? He should be a highly valued commodity. But kind of like what I was talking about the other week, just because, gas is gas. Just because gas costs this much this week doesn't mean, just because gas costs less money a few weeks ago doesn't mean that it's going to cost the same today. Just because Ben Simmons is a talented player, just because he's an all-NBA type player, doesn't mean you're going to get that type of haul for him. Because he's shown a side of himself that you don't necessarily see on the stat sheet, which is the ability to, well, first of all, the ability, one, to just not complain all the time. Two, the ability to get better. The ability to expand your game. The ability to overcome adversity. When has Ben Simmons done any of this? And he's gone to All-Stars. He's gone to All-Star games regardless of these deficiencies in these may not be deficiencies in his game. It's deficiencies in his personality. Now that's something that's something that a coach can't fix, right? Mm-hmm. That's something he has to make the decision that he wants to fix within himself. And this whole I'm gonna sit out training camp, bro. Your ability to practice basketball is not the problem. Your ability to practice on the right things is the problem. And you think Philadelphia is the problem? At some point, Ben Simmons is going to have to come to the realization, I'm the problem. And if I want to get to a different level, I need to sit down. I need an OG to sit me down. And this is the main problem I think Ben Simmons has. He ain't got no OGs in his corner that's going to tell him the truth, going to look him in his face, and going to tell him what's what. He got a bunch of enablers telling him he's the greatest thing on God's green earth every single day, and he never feels the desire to get better. So at a certain point, you got to flip him for something. You got to flip him for anything you can get, anything reasonable you can get, because he is who he is, and as long as he's in Philly, he ain't going to be nothing more than that.
Quinte, go ahead, man, because I got more to say. Go ahead.
I just feel as though I agree with everything Heaven just said. Just the dude, come on now, man. You need to get it. you make $30 million a year. You can't shoot. He got everything else, but it just like if something is missing from his head, or I don't know. I remember a couple of years ago they was comparing him to LeBron. And I'm like, LeBron at your age, LeBron was taking over games and dunking on people. You just looking around want to pass it.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah.
And then when he see a little person on him, he want to be all demonstrous and act like he's Shaq and stuff. I don't understand this dude, man. I really don't. He's just weird. Maybe it's the light skin thing. I don't know, man.
Oh, shot at light skin. So there's I'm sorry, Quinte, you were done?
I'm done. I'm good.
Okay. So there's two factors. There's two factors to this situation. There's the Ben Simmons factor, which you guys just, I mean, I don't think I need to say more. He just doesn't have the mentality to be great. He has the potential and the skill set, but the fact that you have a player in the same conference who shoot just as bad as you do, but can go out and score 50 points in the fucking closeout NBA Finals game. And he can't shoot, but at least he tries to shoot. Like Ben Simmons doesn't even try. Like, just try. Just try. If you don't make it, just keep trying. And you watch him in practice, he's out there wetting threes, but like, why can't you do this in the game? It's terrible. It's terrible. But there's another factor to this that we're not mentioning. The 76ers, like, bro, what they're asking for, like, there's been so much potential trades that they should have just, hit the trigger with. I mean, they went to the Warriors. They wanted the first trade, which is 2 draft picks and 3 players. Now they're talking about they want Klay Thompson or Steph Curry. The Warriors are not trading Klay or Steph. Get out of here. That's not going to happen. Like, both of them, the Sixers and Ben Simmons, they're both just terrible in this situation, and they just need to find something and get it out. Like, just get him away and get somebody to come with Joel Embiid and just start over. Basically, you can still be relevant if you just have Joel Embiid, but the Sixers and Ben Simmons are both just ridiculous in this situation. But Ben Simmons more because it is not the Sixers' fault that you were not shooting. It's not their fault. That's you. So the fact that you want to sit out for training camp, for what? Who are you mad at? Who are you mad at? Who on the Sixers is making you mad? That's you. That's nobody on the Sixers but you. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
You sound like Joel Embiid on Twitter, boy. You sound like Joel Embiid on Twitter.
Yeah. That whole franchise has this passive aggressive vibe that does not work, man. It's both of them, man. Because I'm telling you, man, if
they did the same thing to AI too, back in the day. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes like if a Kid Cudi album was an NBA player, it'd be Ben Simmons. Like the difference between
wow
the difference, man. We gotta talk facts here.
Wow.
The problem is, here's the main issue. Giannis knows he has deficiencies in his game, but he's not afraid to get clowned trying. Ben Simmons is afraid to get clowned trying to do things he knows he's not good at. Giannis, he will shoot threes. He will take a half a minute to shoot a free throw that he'll airball. He keeps doing it. He keeps going. He's not afraid of the moment. But Ben Simmons, man, he's afraid of getting clowned, man. It's a social media sickness. It's a social media sickness, man. They out here, they're super passive aggressive because they're getting clowned all day on the internet. So instead of trying their best to overcome these obstacles, they just sit in what they know they won't get clowned doing. It's a sickness, man.
That play will go down forever in his career. I think he'll bounce back. Hopefully he'll bounce back. But the dude was at the rim, wide open fucking dunk with a 6-foot guy right there, and you're 6'10", and you pass the ball. That was just terrible. That was terrible.
And the thing, some of the stuff I see him pass, I remember I saw Wade, and Wade was his age, like 24, 25. I seen Wade dunk on the 7-footer.
Yeah. Multiple 7-footers.
Multiple 7-footers. And Wade is 6'3", 6'4". Come on now, dude. He's 6'10".
Either you're gonna get blocked, you're gonna get fouled, or you're gonna dunk on a person. Either or.
He didn't want to get and you know, on top of the shooting thing, for a guy whose entire game is basically going to the basket, he don't want to shoot free. He doesn't want to go to the free throw line. He doesn't want to get fouled. I don't get it. I don't get it. Something does not add up.
I want you to all of us go on YouTube, look up pickup game with Ben Simmons. This man is wet.
God.
Wet.
He's LeBron James when it comes to when it comes to the LA Fitness runs, scrimmages. he's LeBron James.
Hey, but okay, I got a question. What team can he go to that will benefit from his game? Can he go to a team? Is it just him? Is it all just him, or can he go to a team that might change his mindset? Because you know how coaches can affect you and install confidence in you. And can that happen?
Only 3 places I feel like he can go.
Don't say Miami. Don't say Miami.
That's gonna be his number one.
Miami's number one.
Oh Lord, I don't want him on Miami.
Antonio.
No. Golden State. Golden State.
He's not. Steve Kerr is not a good coach. Stop saying Steve Coach. He's not a developer of talent. He's not.
I feel like he did an excellent job with Andrew Wiggins.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
He's a good coach.
I mean, Mark Jackson had the same team. All of a sudden, Steve Kerr comes in and they go to the finals. Come on now.
Jackson had them when they were young, when they were up and coming.
It was 1 year apart. It was 1 year apart.
Hey, they made it to the playoffs before they fired Mark Jackson.
Steph had them bad ankles when Mark Jackson was the coach. Those are facts.
Yeah.
He was always injured. So I want to hear that.
Yeah, Steph Curry wasn't MVP Curry with Mark Jackson, but he was MVP Curry with Steve Kerr. That's really what the difference. That's what the difference. And once Kerr came in and Draymond started giving out like 7, 8 assists per game, that's when that team got activated.
As far as San Antonio, I think Pop. Like, is he still motivated? Like, does he still want to coach? Like, eventually Pop's going to retire. He doesn't have enough patience for Ben Simmons. So I don't know if that's work. As far as Miami, I see your point. I think the culture of Miami would change him. So I agree. I just don't. I don't like Ben Simmons. I'm sorry. I don't like him. I just don't want him. I'm good.
I would say this: you can't deny the young man's talent. You just wish his personality was different. That's his issue.
Yeah.
You think Eric and Pat Riley would help him?
Man, Spoelstra, I'm gonna say this to you. You gotta remember when Wade first came in the league, Wade was taken to the whole dunk with everybody. He couldn't shoot
at all.
Yeah.
So start working with that boy. That boy got that mid range, that fadeaway. That shit was wet.
That's why Spoelstra's the head coach, because he developed Wade.
He developed Wade. And think about all the players we had on our team who was scrubs, and they play on our team. They were superstars. Not superstar. They were good.
I will say this about Dwayne Wade, though. He legitimately made guys around him better.
Yes.
Mario Chalmers looked like a bona fide NBA starting point guard next to Dwayne Wade. Mario Chalmers. That's all I'm saying.
Look at DeVore.
I know. See DeVore.
Mario Chalmers.
Wait,
Mario Chalmers.
Who's the second string point guard name?
Norris Cole.
Thank you.
Norris Cole.
Who was the other team that you said Ben Simmons would fit on? You said San Antonio, Miami. Who was the third team? You said 3.
Portland.
Man.
Portland is good at
but who they giving up for him though? Because you're not saying
they can give up CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
Okay.
He needs to go because they just need to split up the team. He'll help. He don't have to play point guard anymore. He can be a power forward.
CJ and Dame are like the West Coast version of John Wall and Bradley Beal. Break it up already. It's done. They tried already.
They didn't have enough in Washington for that to happen. I'm not.
Stop that. They had.
They're like they're a better version of Wall and Beal, I would say. Yeah.
No. See, now y'all being disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. Damian Lillard is better than all of them.
In Washington, they didn't have a big John Wall.
What you mean? They had a big. Come on, man.
They had big. Gortat
was the big, and then they had Nene. They had Nene for a couple years.
That's dollar store toilet tissue to the White House. What are you talking about?
Man, you need to calm down talking about the hammer that way.
The Polish what?
The hammer.
The Polish hammer.
Put some respect on the hammer's name.
They had Javale Mcgee for he wasn't.
Javale Mcgee was long gone at that time. I think Javale Mcgee left around like what, early 2013,
I think.
Well, you know what's
12 maybe.
You want to know what's really interesting? Javale Mcgee might possibly be the most interesting man in the world. He went from a guy that was getting clowned almost every other night because he was just making a fool of himself, especially in the early days. He was just all over the place.
To three championships now.
I mean, Shaq was clowning him on the regular. And
rightfully so, because he was doing a lot of dumb shit.
And then and now you look at JaVale McGee. He has like a budding YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. He's a 3-time champion and an Olympic gold medalist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gotta say my favorite JaVale McGee moment had to have been when he was dribbling the ball half court and he slips and he just throws the ball.
He ran into the knee. He ran into I think that was Ty Lawson's knee on Denver and almost got an injury. I remember that. Yeah. They clowned him. Yeah.
I know.
A half court shot.
I know. My favorite play is when I think his team shot the ball. They got the offensive rebound, and JaVale McGee ran all the way to the other end of the court to play defense.
That's right. He was on the Wizards then, yeah.
He was on the Wizards, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think John Wall was at the top of the key, looking at JaVale like, bro,
what the fuck? Where you going?
We on offense.
That boy had CTE, man. He got CTE.
All right,
he got CTE. Come on now.
Last topic of the day. The Dallas Cowboys cleared Dak Prescott to play versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you know, he had the shoulder injury throughout training camp in the preseason. So just real quick, I just want to hear you guys' expectations as far as the Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Cowgirls.
Yeah, I mean Dallas still can't stop anybody. They still have no Dallas still has no cornerbacks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They still got that. They still got that offensive line though.
They got Carr. That's it, right?
No, they got Diggs' little brother, Stephon Diggs.
Trayvon.
Oh, Trayvon Diggs.
He was good last year. But he was.
Well,
that's only one person.
We'll see.
Can I get some numbers? Dak Prescott numbers, like 300 yards, a couple times.
I mean, he going throw the ball at least 50 times, so you know he's going to get the 300 off top.
He's going to get sacked like 4. He's going to get sacked like 5 times.
He should not be throwing the ball no more than 25.
Bro,
28 times a game, bro.
They got him locked in as a 35, 40, 45 times
but
a guy.
He's not that good to do that. I'm sorry. And you have a running back, you have an offensive line.
Yeah.
Run the ball, play action pass. If you get hot throwing the ball, okay, be it. But
where's the game going to be played?
In Dallas, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they gonna get embarrassed on national TV. And I feel he's gonna throw 2 interceptions in this game and get sacked 4 or 5 times.
That's what I said. Sacked 4 times. Is this this is a Thursday night game, right? Thursday night.
National televised game, first game of the season.
We're gonna do a watch party for that. You want to?
Yeah, I'm definitely doing a watch party for that because I want to sit here and I'm going to watch Dak Prescott throw the ball 50 times for 500 yards or something like that, and he'll sit here and say See, Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. He threw the ball for 3 touchdown passes.
I mean, Dak Prescott never has any problems putting up numbers.
It's all garbage time numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a Carson Palmer all-star. You know what I'm saying?
And the game is in Tampa. I'm sorry.
I thought it was in
It's in Tampa. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in Tampa. So I'm definitely going to be watching that game. For those that's sitting at home watching the pod right now, there is definitely going to be a watch party, and I'm going to be front row and center to watch Dak Prescott throw this ball, so I can prove my freaking point.
I mean, there's no point to be proven. You know he's gonna throw the ball too many times, and they ain't gonna stop anybody, and they're gonna lose.
Anytime where you have to throw the ball more than 30 times, or you threw for over 400 yards and you lose the game, come on now.
It's a tough look.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I understand the defense deficiencies, but at the same time, Dak turned the ball over too and fumbled the ball too as well. And also, in all those other possessions that you had early on in the game, why weren't you putting the ball in the end zone if Dak is that good?
Hey, but listen, the flip side to that is, what if they actually don't do that? What if they don't throw the ball 40, 50 times and they run the ball? Do they have a chance? Do they have a chance to beat them?
To me, they have a better chance. If they run the ball, control the time of possession, take the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, run the ball. Zeke should have 28 carries.
Against that defense, I think they have a better chance of throwing the football, but they got Dak Prescott at quarterback, so that's the problem.
They had a bad chance running. I think that their pass rush is too much for their chance running.
I mean, if they're gonna actually run this team, like actually try to put the best game plan forward to win games, and part of the formula of Dallas winning games is keeping their defense off the field. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott should easily be, outside of Derrick Henry, he should be top 3 in the league in rushing. Top. You should just be able to pencil that in. But we'll see.
They have the O-line for the run, so I mean
they've had the O-line the whole time.
Right, yeah.
They've had the O-line the whole time they've been there.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction here as far as Ezekiel Elliott. Him transforming his body, he's a lot leaner, so you won't see the powerful runner that you saw in Zeke in years prior.
He's the same size he was when he got drafted. He's the same Zeke.
Yeah, he blew up.
Fact.
I'm thinking that Pollard may have a better impact for the Dallas Cowboys this year than Zeke.
I like the fact that Zeke kept getting fatter, but he kept the cutoff shirts. It's like, bro, we can see you're getting fat. Like, you still have abs, but you're getting fat.
Yeah.
Because you saw it last year, G Money. I like Pollard, his role increased significantly with the Dallas Cowboys. So you also saw Zeke being more involved in the passing game as you saw Pollard get involved in the offense a little bit more.
And he needs to stop fumbling. Stop fumbling the ball, dude. Like, come on.
That's the other thing. So turnovers. But we sat here and we blamed Andy Dalton for the reason why they was losing last year. But
Andy Dalton sucks, bro. Let that go. Let that go. He's going to be replaced by Fields. Stop it.
But we know who's going to start. We all know who's going to start next Sunday though for the Chicago Bears though.
It's week 3, bro. Week 3.
Holla at us in about 3 weeks, man.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I don't see that. Okay. I don't see that the Andy Dalton experiment going on. Well, the second Andy Dalton throws a deep pass, and halfway down the field, the ball blows backwards. Yeah, no, they're gonna get him out there real quick.
Quick. I told you guys in the chat. These young quarterbacks this season, they ain't playing, man. They coming.
Also, I think the time. Look, man, everybody ain't Tom Brady. We can't just trot all these older quarterbacks out here, because I don't know if y'all saw Philip Rivers play last season. He was throwing his arm out the socket to get any type of velocity on the ball.
I kind of felt that way about Ryan Fitzpatrick later on during the season.
Right, it's a fact that Ryan pushes the ball. It's a fact, bro.
Is he still in the league? Is he still on the team?
He's starting. He's starting next
for
year.
the Washington football team.
Oh,
he's
wow.
starting.
Wow.
bro. And Andy didn't come into the league with a strong arm to start with. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we all know what's gonna happen.
He was well loved with the Dolphins. Like people actually like playing with him.
Everywhere Ryan Fitzpatrick has gone, people love him.
Yeah, everybody likes him, man. He's a good person.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, but
he's a good dude and a good quality quarterback.
I'll say it like this: there have been quarterbacks with more talent than Ryan Fitzpatrick that have had half the career that he has had. So he has taken the talent that he has and all of the kind of intangibles that make him. He has maximized that.
True.
So if anything else, he is a guy that has taken the talent that he has, which is not the greatest amount of talent at the quarterback position, man. He's maximized it, man. So it's easy to relate to guys, man, because coming out of Harvard, well, nobody checking for a quarterback coming out of Harvard.
Yeah, he can't went to Harvard. Harvard.
Yeah, ain't nobody checking for a Harvard quarterback. So for him to do what he's done, man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yep, same as the guy from Vanderbilt University who scored the highest IQ, had to score his IQ test by a college pro.
Oh my God.
Who?
You talking about Jay Cutler?
Man.
Do we have any final thoughts before we close this thing out?
Yeah, man. As always, it's a pleasure to be here and talk. And Dolphins have had a lot of absolute garbage quarterbacks, at least in my lifetime. But boy, let me tell you something. Jay Cutler was. I mean, he was garbage from the day he stepped on the field to the day he left. He had no. Jay Fiedler was the starting quarterback. He was not good, but he was the starter. Jay Cutler did not add anything to the franchise, in my opinion. And I think the more I hear about Jay Cutler, like outside of football, it's just like, man, this dude is trash. Anyways, I appreciate y'all letting me on tonight.
What you got, Quinte?
Yeah, I appreciate it all the time coming on. Sorry I missed last week. My daughter was fake sick. Had to tend to that. We had to get a COVID test and everything. I'm like, man, she don't have no damn COVID. But he still had to do all this precautions and stuff like that. But everything's cool. And I appreciate y'all.
That's got to be a great way to get out of school, man. That's got to be a great way to get out of school.
Yeah, who you telling?
Oh, bro, on a Friday, I'm pulling the COVID card on a Friday. I'm having me a 3-day weekend.
Man, all you gotta do is pretend like you throwing up. You going home.
Oh yeah. even at work they do that, man. If you say like we hanging out and one of us contracted COVID, or I said, man, I was with somebody who had COVID, oh, you're out for 14 days and you get paid. That might Yeah. So that's all everybody been doing it. So one dude, he did it 3 times already.
They said even if
he really sick now.
Yeah, they said if you leave the state that you have to quarantine for 10 days too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough because like I freelance. I freelance. I'm going out of state tomorrow morning. So like, yeah, man, it's real. I mean, I'm vaccinated, so like I don't really have to worry about that type of regulations too much. But I work in the kitchen, and a lot of times, depending on where you're going, they ask them. I mean, they ask you. They want to know everywhere you've been the past 24 hours. But it is what it is.
Hey, G, what you got before I drop a nuke on y'all real quick?
So just want to shout out to Banks. A family member of his been sick. Hopefully she's doing well. Just want to give him a shout out. Want to shout out to Brighton, our new member. Hopefully comes on next week. And shout out to all you boys and even Shake and Easy Yates in the chat. But just a quick thing. I like Kid Cudi. I don't know why that shot was at Kid Cudi. I like his music. I know his music was kind of depressing, but it was cool though. But
I'm
bipolar, man.
His music was cool though. Come on now.
I like Kid Cudi too, but Ben Simmons is Kid Cudi's second album, man.
Yeah.
And,
up and down, up and down.
I mean, golly, just the whole album. The whole album is just Kid Cudi. The whole album. That's the whole album.
Okay. Just again, peace and love to everybody. That's all. Go ahead, boy.
Now I was watching the Rich Eisen show on YouTube, and Rich Eisen had Michael Smith on as a guest, that they was having a discussion about Deshaun Watson or Tua. And the interview was good, but more importantly, I was just sitting here just looking at the comments in the comment section on YouTube. One guy literally said, "Thank you for covering the Dolphins. Love your takes. Keep covering us Dolphins content. And thank you for believing in Tua, Rich." The second one is well, it's actually multiple ones that literally go to bat for Tua. Hold on 1 second. Love you, Rich. Thanks for going to bat for us, Fifth fans, and our boy Tua. I never seen a comment section go to the defense of a player the way that I see it for Tua. I'm sorry, Havoc. I had to take it there because just going through this comment section literally makes me sick. I'm sorry.
I don't understand. Are they supposed to hate him? Like, what do you want from people? People like Tua. I don't get it. Like, what's the issue?
I'm gonna say this, please. I'm gonna say this. I understand where DeVore is coming from because he hasn't done anything in the league. He hasn't worn any of this.
Mm-hmm.
If we get a chance to get a better quarterback, only a year apart in age.
No, I agree.
I mean, I think it's real simple. I mean, DeVore had faith in the quarterback who he feels they didn't give enough chance to. And they shipped him out. And now he's saying, why y'all giving Tua so much heat? Why y'all giving Tua so much support when they shipped my guy out of town?
Wait a minute. Rich Eisen literally made that reference. If the Miami Dolphins traded for Deshaun Watson, he made the reference that Tua is going to turn into Josh Rosen.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's impossible. How are you gonna?
It's not impossible.
How are you gonna lose that much talent so quickly?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say this to you, Havoc. He had it's a chance that he could.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna say this. Wait. The same thing was gonna happen to him. Think about it. A lot of people don't like Tua. I'm being honest. If you watch the national news, a lot of people do not like Tua.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you feel about him. Not everybody likes him because he doesn't have to. Because people want a big arm quarterback, a mobile quarterback. They want all those things. Tua does not have that shit. He does.
And Josh Rosen does.
Josh Rosen. I'm gonna say this to you. Josh Rosen's arm is better than Tua's arm. Tua's more accurate than he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing you can say. Josh Rosen has the arm. You cannot take that shit away from his ass. He has a better arm. He has a liver arm than him.
When he gets cut by the Falcons by week 6, I want you to revisit
see how
that.
you taking it another place. I'm talking about a skill set that he has.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this to you, bro. If the Dolphins trade for Deshaun Watson and somebody else trade for say the Texans get Tua, he plays behind the offensive line. He gets hurt. Nobody's gonna wait 2 years for him to be better. They're gonna cut his ass. That's how the NFL works.
And they lose. They're definitely taking a quarterback in the first with their first.
I'm telling you, that's how it works. Nobody gives an F about
because the Texans are obligated to pay their salary either, so they're not losing anything.
That's what I'm talking. That's why everybody wants the microwave success. I'm more of the position of giving time, give them 1 or 2 years, let them learn.
The man just played 1 year. He played 1 year. Can y'all wait?
If Rosen played 1 year,
I'm not talking about fuck Rosen. I'm talking about Tua. Judge after this season.
You see how they changed the narrative?
I'm not changing the narrative. I'm not saying.
If he gets traded, bro, if he get traded, we get Watson, and he get hurt for the Texans, he's not playing another effing down in the NFL, bro.
Okay, I hear you, but I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is judge Tua after this season. If the Dolphins don't trade for Watson,
oh my God,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, judge him after this season. That's all I'm saying. If he doesn't get traded, that's all.
I'm gonna say this to you.
Come on, boy. Come on, man.
I'm gonna say this to you. I know Tua's a better quarterback than Rosen. I know that.
I don't think Boyd knows that.
I know that, but
the
narrative, you said give him another season. That's what you said.
You didn't give Rosen
Exactly.
another season.
Bro,
come on, man.
We've gone through this.
We've gone through
time after time after time again. Time after time after time again. I mean, listen, there are clearly things going on in regards to Josh Rosen that we just don't see.
I made that clear a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, because the GMs and coaches, they see things that we don't see. So, I mean, look, at a certain point, it was in the bag for Josh Rosen to be the backup quarterback, or at least just be on the roster with the 49ers, right? And he got beat out by Nate Sudfeld, who then got cut by the 49ers. So not only did he not make the roster, he got beat out by a guy who also did not make the roster. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Before I know this is running a little bit longer than expected, but do you think? Well, I know, but do you think if a first round draft pick quarterback gets drafted by a team and they play so much like garbage, you really think they're gonna go with the backup?
Do I think they're gonna go with the? So you're saying the scenario is a team is garbage. Are they gonna go with the backup?
No. If the quarterback that was drafted plays like garbage, do you really think that they're going to go with the backup quarterback?
I think it depends where the organization is. Are you trying to tank? Are you tanking for Trevor, tanking for whatever you want to do? So that's what I would have to know.
I strongly believe that they are going, since they invested in making the draft pick, they're going to try to do everything they possibly can for him to succeed, regardless of how bad he plays.
Listen, the ideal time for an NFL franchise to try and win a Super Bowl is during the quarterback's rookie contract. You ain't never going to have a quarterback at that cap number at any point of his career outside of when he's a rookie.
Okay, but my thing is, as you're a rookie, you need to develop the rest of the team before you draft a rookie quarterback.
Sometimes you ain't got that luxury to get the rest
of the
team.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna say this real quick. But you gotta understand, some teams are already pre-made, pre-packaged for certain players.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if Tua doesn't succeed this year, it's gonna fall on him because they put everything in front of him. We got a good defense. It's going to turn the ball over, get you more possessions. It can't be we get 3 interceptions in the game and all this stuff, and you don't.
That's the point where I was trying to make.
Touchdown, no touchdowns. But I'm talking about last year. With Tua. If he doesn't perform this year and do what he's supposed to do, it's a wrap, bro. They're going to lose another quarterback.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If they trade for Watson, if the Dolphins don't get Watson,
I'll tell you,
and Tua plays horrible. Then everything you're saying.
So why you just give Tua 2 years and you ready to write off Josh Rosen at the Arizona?
Because Josh Rosen had 5 years. He had 5 years. 5 years.
No, he did not have 5 years.
He didn't have 5 years. Only 3.5.
I think the difference is, for whatever reason, Josh Rosen does not inspire confidence in the people around him.
I think that's what it is. It's not about his talent. It's how he acts.
Yeah.
He has King's
how
disease.
He carries himself.
King's disease, as Nas would say.
But listen, there's been players that have been assholes as people, but have great talent and stayed around. I mean, Michael Jordan was a fucking asshole and he stayed around. So I don't agree with that completely. If he had enough talent, if he had enough talent, even with his personality, he would still be a starting quarterback in the league. But it's both. It's the talent and the personality.
But you're gonna say this, Steve. The right people like him because Aaron Rodgers is an asshole, but the right people like him. They give him chances.
But Aaron Rodgers is talented. That's what I'm saying. Even though he's an asshole, he's talented.
But he's an asshole. That's what you're not understanding.
But you're not
understanding. When you were an asshole, you got to have the right people that like you.
Yeah,
that's not always true, man.
I've seen it. What kind of work I do? I'm gonna say this. It's a dude I work with. He's an asshole. People love him. They love him. They love him. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about having the right people to love you.
I think that if he had enough talent,
that's how it works in life, bro.
I hear you, bro. But listen,
somebody like you or love you, they gonna always go to bat for you.
That's not all. It's not always black and white. It's more to it. I think if Rosen was more, I think if Rosen was more talented, even with him and his Kingsman, whatever personality, he would still be a starting quarterback. It's the talent and the personality. That's why he sucks.
He has talent.
Not enough to stay on the team, apparently.
If Josh Rosen had more talent, he'd be Kirk Cousins.
Yes, I agree with that.
If Josh Rosen had more talent, he'd be Kirk Cousins, and you couldn't deny him. But he does not have enough talent to get over his personality deficiencies.
Exactly.
He has enough talent to be a quarterback. If everything else was perfect, like look at someone like Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? All the intangibles are on 10, right? Yeah. All the intangibles are on 10, so it makes up for his lack of talent. Now with Josh Rosen, he has the talent, but his intangibles actually downgrade him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's his issue. Now, if his talent was so much better, it wouldn't matter that he has a bad personality. But it's not.
Exactly.
So that's where we are.
Now, how are we supposed to see how talented he is if he doesn't get an opportunity?
But what if he didn't get opportunity because of his talent, because of how bad he is? And
I feel like it also depends on your opportunities too, as well.
As long as you're getting a check, you have an opportunity to impress somebody. As long as you're getting paid and you're on the roster, even if you're on the practice squad, there's somebody watching you. Somebody's looking at you.
How are you beating out Tom Brady? How are you beating out Trey Lance if they drafted him in the first round?
Josh Rosen isn't concerned with beating out starters. He's concerned with beating out backups and third stringers.
Yes.
Ask him that question. Ask him.
Hey,
ask Josh Rosen why he couldn't beat out Nate Sudfeld.
Seriously though.
Ask Josh Rosen why he couldn't beat out Nate Sudfeld.
I'm gonna say this is my whole issue with this whole conversation. It depends on what team you get drafted by. Lamar Jackson got lucky. He got drafted by the Ravens.
He was a 32nd pick. They were a playoff team. They were a quarterback away from winning.
And then Russell Wilson got lucky. He got drafted by the Seahawks.
Second round.
Now, at that time, the Seahawks were not a good team now.
The Seahawks was up and coming. They was up and coming. They got better every year.
Dak Prescott got put in an excellent situation. Tony Romo got hurt. The team was already set up for them to succeed.
He didn't do nothing with it. That's why I say he's Ryan Tannehill too. Sam Darnold, terrible situation. Everybody's ready to write him off. Sam Darnold got put in a messed up situation. Yeah. I feel as though if Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield switch, it would have been different. I feel because I feel as though Baker Mayfield has the personality to deal with New York, and Cleveland's more laid back. And Darnold could have flourished in that system. You understand?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But also, Cleveland doesn't have a lot going on.
Yeah,
so there's actually more pressure on the sports players there to succeed. New York, I mean, there's a lot of media here, but you know.
I'm gonna say this. When I was in Cleveland, they love that damn team, bro.
Yeah.
And they don't talk bad about nobody. They said we don't care, we lose every game. They gonna pack the stadium out, bro. They gonna pack that mother out, bro.
Yeah.
So what year were you actually in Cleveland, Quinte?
Used to live in Cleveland, yeah.
No, my girl's brother got married because he works for the he's a lead scout or something like that for the team I'm actually for the Cleveland the Browns.
What year was that?
About 3 years ago.
3 years ago, I was gonna say if it was like in the early 2000s, what was the thought process of like Brady Quinn, Derek Anderson?
Oh my God, Brady Quinn.
Who was the other quarterback before when they drafted before Derek Anderson? Nah,
Oh.
before Derek Anderson became the starter. It was
Deshaun
the dude who's
Kaiser.
28 The dude who's 28
Hoyer?
years old. The dude who's
Something
28
Hoyer?
years old. What's his name from Oklahoma State?
yeah. Oh man, what was his name? Whedon.
Yeah,
Brandon Whedon.
That was
Yeah.
after. I'm
Oh, I
talking about
remember
before
him.
though. There was another quarterback that they drafted early in the first round. I believe he came out with Alex Smith actually.
Johnny
You're not talking
Mandel.
about Tim Couch, right? You're not talking about Couch, right? No.
Johnny Football.
That's way back in the day.
Oh,
Tim Couch
okay,
is
never
like
mind.
2099.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out backstage. But seriously though, we already did final thoughts. So the NFL season starts officially Thursday night. We're definitely going to be having the watch party. Probably going to start the watch party probably around 8 o'clock ish. We're definitely going to have a pod Wednesday evening, 10 p.m. Eastern time. This is the Not for the Bay podcast. Be sure to go ahead and like our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page. We'll be back Wednesday evening. Up out of here, man.
Good night. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Yo.